Hello and welcome to ECOTIMES.TV magazine podcast. Today we've got a special guest, Lisa Cain from SnackGirl.com. And Lisa is a kind of healthy snack food expert. I'm your host, Alex Strong. Lisa, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Great stuff, great stuff. So Lisa, please tell us about your journey and how come you're so passionate about kind of healthy snacks. And if you could kind of lead into kind of like some great healthy snack ideas to kind of give people an overview of what they should be snacking on and maybe what they shouldn't be snacking on.
Right. So back in 2009, I started SnackGirl. I started it because healthy snacking is actually a big problem here in the United States. On average, since 1970, we're snacking one more time per day. And those snacks tend to be candy, potato chips, soda, and cookies. I think you call potato chips crisps, right?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So if we're doing that one more time per day, that means we're adding about 350 calories on average per day in just snacks. So that's a lot.
Yeah.
And as you know, probably that we have a huge obesity epidemic over here with both our children and our adults. And I thought one of the biggest problems is snacking, because it's clear that, we snack on junk. We don't snack on healthy food. And I don't know if it's true there, but we have an aisle of our supermarket that's filled with, it just says snacks. do you have an aisle like that?
We kind of have like a crisp aisle and kind of maybe kind of biscuits and chocolate and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Right. But, well, we have a snack. We have that, and we have a snack aisle known for our And there's all these packages of crackers and little cookies, and it's amazing. Something called a fruit snack, which is actually just a gummy bear. So the marketing around snacks has been very intense, but you don't think I'm going to get a snack and you go to pick up an apple in the produce section. You go to pick up a snack in the snack aisle. And it leads you to the worst of the food because it's the most processed. It's got the most additives, the highest sodium and highest fat, and it's not healthy. So my idea was to create a website that was devoted to healthy snacks, so that when people look up the search term, if they're looking for healthy snacks, they find me instead of. Can you guess who else they would find?
McDonald's.
It's not that bad, but it's like Nature Valley granola bars. It's Frito-Lay.
They're just sugar, aren't they? They're just like, they're so sweet.
Frito-Lay's big here. Right. So it's Pepsi, Frito-Lay, and they own snackhappy.com. So, the only voice would be the companies that provide the snack food, and there would be no one to say, hey, there's alternatives to this. So that's why I started it, and I've been going now since for a while. I have a book out called Snack Girl to the Rescue. You can actually get it on Amazon.co.uk. It's there. And the focus is, instead of eating, let's just talk about a cookie, for example. Let's say you have a cookie, a biscuit. Instead of eating a cookie, you have something like an apple. But you might add a little bit of peanut butter. I know you guys don't eat that much peanut butter there. But
I love organic peanut butter.
Okay,
so
all right.
We eat a lot of it in our house.
Yeah, but if you spread a little peanut butter on an apple, you have something sweet, something crunchy, and you add some fat and protein, and it's around 150 calories, which is, by the way, the right amount of calories for a snack. That's the goal, 150 calories, because you don't want to eat 350 calories in between lunch and dinner. Yeah. So I'm always looking for, like, here we have Doritos, or I'm sure you have cheesy crisps.
Yes, we have Doritos.
Yeah, so that's like that has 33 ingredients in it. 33.
What?
Yeah.
Really? That's crazy.
It's a science experiment. So, and I love Doritos. I'm not going to say I don't love them, but the packages have about, again, 250 calories. It's just not a good choice, and it's not healthy. So I say get some Monterey Jack spicy cheese, a form of cheese, and crackers. You're going to
Yeah.
say, because you'll get protein, you'll get calcium, you'll still get the crunch, and you'll still get the spicy, but you've just replaced a junk food with a much healthier choice, and you're going to eat less of it. So that's the kind of thing I advocate for. And I found actually quite a big audience. I now have about 200,000 people a month
Great.
who come from around the world to read about healthy snacking.
That's amazing. I studied nutrition actually. So
Oh, really?
yeah. So I'm quite passionate about eating healthy. We kind of try and do the green smoothies every day. We just had one actually with kale and stuff, which is really good. But like we try and steer probably not eating too much fruit, just because obviously it's got the natural sugars in, like the high kind of fructose and glucose. So we do eat a lot of fruit, but like try not to snack on. We like nuts. Do you recommend nuts a lot?
Oh, very much so. I talk to a lot of people who are interested in losing weight. So for them, sometimes nuts can be what they call a trigger food, which is the food that they just can't put it down.
I know that feeling. Yeah.
You probably have more willpower than the kind of people I'm talking about, but they'll get a bag of cashews and you want to eat maybe 20 cashews at the most, but then they can't stop eating them. So, but if you're able to, there's little packages actually of almonds and pistachios, which are great, 100-calorie packages. And if you can carry those around, then you're going to be okay. And I actually think they're wonderful because they're shelf-stable just by nature. And, they taste really good. You get a nice crunch, and they're extremely nutritious. They're nuts. They're the thing that will make a tree grow. So they're packed with stuff that, you need and the tree would need if it actually grew. But anyway, so I love nuts.
Awesome. I'll tell you, when I was doing my nutrition, they were a big advocate of eggs as a whole thing, because it's was a whole living organism. So all those minerals and vitamins and nutrients are kind of absorbed within your body. So like I've heard a lot of good things about eggs. Have you?
I mean, and on top of which they're high in protein, they're packed with nutrients. They're only 70 calories, which it's like a perfect food. I mean, really, it's great. And then, they got slammed for having too much cholesterol. I don't know if you followed that because of but the issue, but they've actually found that the amount of cholesterol you eat in your diet is not linked to the cholesterol level in your blood system, your blood. So what happened is actually if you eat more saturated fat, your cholesterol goes up, but not more cholesterol. So they used to say, like 2 eggs a week, and now they say, I'm talking about the American Heart Association, says 1 egg a day. I mean, I have 2 eggs a day. I don't even think about it. I think it's fine because they've been able to decouple those things. So, I think hard-boiled egg is like a fantastic snack in between breakfast and lunch. So I'll have oatmeal for lunch and breakfast, and then I'll have a hard-boiled egg, and then I'll have lunch just to keep me going. And they're just great anyway, like making egg salad. You can make a really great because they're so flavorful. You don't need a lot of mayonnaise. You can add a lot of celery or chives or something that's flavorful, and then you put it between like 2 pieces of whole wheat bread. I mean, isn't that just like delicious? I love that.
Yeah, I mean, well, one thing I remember when on our course, I used to do 4 boiled eggs in the morning, and then I used to mash them up with a fork, and then add a can of tuna, and then just add some vegetables and kind of tarte tomato kind of not tomato sauce, but like a kind of sauce with it, and mix that all up, and that was like high protein with veg, kind of like my snack, kind of in between meals and stuff.
And low in carbs,
that was really good.
Yeah,
because carbs are sugar, and basically carbs is one of the reasons why diabetes type 2 is so common in the United States is because the high intake of sugar due to the over processed ingredients that go into your food, sadly. That's why I'm sure you see a big surge of people growing organic food. Does that come across a lot within?
It's 290 million people. This place is enormous and so disparate. The thing is that there's a certain group of people who have maybe a higher income that have jumped on to organics and growing their own food and going to farmers markets. And they're probably the highest educated crew. The majority of people are still, I would say the majority of this country still just eats whatever they can find on the way to here and there. And that's because if you look on any small town in America, I've got 30,000 people in this town, and we've got a McDonald's, a Taco Bell, a Burger King, a KFC, a Pizza Hut, a Domino's Pizza. We've got 3 Dunkin' Donuts. How does a town of 30,000 support all 2 Subways, 3 Subways?
I'm not a fan of Subway. I feel like it's so processed. I
know.
Yeah.
But if a small town like this can support all of that, it shows you that everybody's still buying it. And so it's a movement, but what percentage of the population is actually paying attention? I would say a small percentage.
So
that's
it's probably kind of either the kind of poor to kind of savvy people that are kind of in the whole homestead prepping.
Yeah. 70 million people are in poverty. 70 million people are in poverty in the United States. Right. So you've got to be aware that it's just all. This is. I wish it was more like your country where things are more together because you're smaller and you got it together.
I know. We've got 66 or 68 million people in the country.
Yeah, but you've got socialized medicine and you have rights and stuff that we seem to just not have.
You've given those rights away, haven't you?
Just saying.
What's the land of the free?
That's just a lie. That's a lie.
You're going to have to move, Lisa.
No, I'm not going to move. I love it here. It's a crazy place. I love it here. But, our corporations own our government. So I'm not saying something that's radical. I think pretty much all of us agree on that.
Does everyone realize that now? Is it like a big
democracy has been co-opted by money? Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, no doubt. Everybody realizes.
It's so funny. I know we're kind of veering off topic.
Yeah.
in terms of kind of the listeners out there, it's so funny when you see in, say, a TV show that, the president or whoever is controlled by an outside movement, and then, it's kind of like, what's really going? It's all like, I've even, one of the reasons they say Mr. Obama got into the office was because the black actor in 24. He was the president, and obviously, millions and millions of people watched.
Well, they got used to the idea.
Yeah, exactly. They're very clever, So anyway, I hope they kind of turn it around and kind of bring the healthy food back for your nation. I would like to thank our sponsor this week, which is ECOTIMES magazine. They cover everything green. Magazine is on the iPad and iPhone. They cover eco travel, amazing eco travel resorts, organic recipes, so amazing recipes to cook, eco gadgets, what's the latest gadgets in eco, amazing eco transport, so battery powered bikes, hybrid cars, battery powered cars, renewable energy, what's the latest in renewable energy, in terms of all the different innovative ways we can get energy. Eco how-to, so for example, how to build your own solar panel or own house or something along those lines. They cover eco architecture, so like eco building. They cover tiny houses, which are amazing small houses on wheels, which you should definitely check out if you haven't seen them. They cover all eco news, so what's been going on in the week, and organic food growing techniques. Anything green really, and it's a weekly magazine, and it's on the iPad and iPhone or iTunes. So the link is below, so please enjoy. And now we get back to the show. Thank you very much. I've been to America 3 or 4 times, and I don't like. That's the only thing that I worry about when I visit is kind of trying to eat healthiest foods because because you've got so many ingredients that kind of go in those foods.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you do that? So so anyone who's visiting the States, what would your advice would be in terms of whether grabbing a snack or a meal? How could they kind of try and stay on the kind of organic, healthy as much as possible?
Yeah, that's so. I would say, first of all, like if you order dinner here, just share it between two people.
Yeah.
You know that it's the portion sizes are crazy, and there's just way too much food on your plate. And even when I go to Europe and I come back, I'm like, what? I can't believe this. And then you can always make substitutions. Like I would say that the United States, like waiters and waitresses are really good at service. And you say, listen, I don't want the fries. You call them chips, right?
Yep. Yep.
I want a salad. I don't know if you can do that there, but here you can substitute like crazy. I
Oh,
don't want
cool.
the chicken deep fried. I want it grilled. Like you
Yeah.
just don't bring me the bread basket. Like that kind of stuff. And that's very common. We're very individualistic. We demand what we want and we get it. So, like that's the kind of like when you're ordering, just make sure you know like exactly what if you want it a certain way, they're going to give it to you that way.
Okay.
But I would say, like, if I was going to New York City, for example, there's
Yeah.
a bunch of beautiful grocery stores with beautiful fruit and
Oh yeah.
yogurt and granola and all the things you're used to having. So just stock up on that because most of the hotel rooms have refrigerators and
Yeah.
put it in your hotel room and don't eat breakfast out. Breakfast will kill you in this country. It's waffles and it's not like the English
It
breakfast.
is waffles, isn't it? It's all sugar.
Yeah, it's all
crazy.
sugar. So it's not English. I love English breakfast, with your eggs and
Yeah.
your whatever,
Egg
your
heaven.
beans and your tomato. It's like delicious, and you've got a tomato. I love that. I love that. No, not here. You don't want to do it. It's even the
Okay.
savory side is like eggs and potatoes and toast. You get the eggs, that's good, but the potatoes and toast, you don't really need.
Your
you don't really
toast
need
is
it.
very sweet as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
Your bread's
it is.
quite sweet.
It's
yeah.
there's sugar added to our bread. There's sugar added to everything. There's sugar added to our ketchup.
See,
There's sugar added to literally everything.
I remember. I was on a US base actually, and I got a bowl of cereal, and
Yeah.
it was I think it was muesli. It was muesli, and it was like Alpen and that, and I thought, oh sweet, all okay. I'm eating it. I'm thinking, whoa, this is extremely sweet. Like it's like the bog standard, and I was just like, But I just what I want to highlight are I find it very hard to have healthy snacks. So I'm just looking through some of your great ideas, top 10 grabbing healthy breakfasts, and I like the look of oatmeal.
Right.
I like these pumpkin pancakes, look good.
Yeah, those are cool because you make the batter the night before.
Right.
So it actually allows you to. It's got yogurt and a whole grain oats, and
Right.
it uses pumpkin to sweeten. Do you have that there? Cans of pumpkin?
We do have pumpkin, but we don't tend to use it much. We use a lot of swede. Have you tried swede?
No, but it might work.
Yeah, Swede's really nice. Is a bit like potato, but a bit sweeter.
Oh, okay, that would work. And then
yeah.
you just let it hang out because it allows the oats to soften, and then you make the pancakes in the morning, and it's always ready to go. So it's a nice hot breakfast that is just simple to do.
Okay, and so a couple of things I want to cover is oatmeal and kale chips.
What about? This made me laugh. Oh, what about the oatmeal?
But we call it porridge. Is
Right.
that the same?
Yeah, it's the
yeah.
same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So is that very healthy for you? Because as we're understanding, it's pretty healthy. Apart from obviously not too much dairy, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, well, it's whole grain. I mean, that's what you have to realize. So a lot of wheat and stuff is processed. Wheat into white flour has taken all the good stuff out of it.
White flour is so bad, isn't it?
It is. Boy, but it tastes good in like a baguette or something, but it is not very good for you. But the oatmeal is actually still the whole oat. And so you get all the nutrition of the oat, and it doesn't have any sugar. It's just, when you just cook it on your stove, it's just water and oats and whatever. And then you can add wonderful stuff to it, like nuts and raisins, and I actually add peanut butter to mine to kind of thicken it up.
Really?
Yeah, it tastes good. It tastes good.
mad.
Or jam or whatever.
Jam, yeah, I love jam.
But it is like the original cereal in a way, you know,
Yeah.
like cereals that you buy in the store in the package. That's what this is. It's usually oats with stuff added, and it's a lot less expensive to make your own.
Okay.
And now on the site, I have an instant oatmeal thing that basically instant oatmeal is just oatmeal chopped smaller. So then you add water, it cooks. On its own, you just kind of let it sit. And I did this thing where you can make your own to take with you, like in a container, and then when it's time for breakfast, you add hot water. And because this is just for some people, they don't, like, they're rushing, they don't have time to make breakfast, so you just prep this and run out the door.
Okay. And the reason I bring up kale chips is because myself and my colleague, we just had a green smoothie.
Oh yeah.
We just put kale in it for the first time, and not much kind of juice came out of the kale. So I'm like, well, let's not waste this. Let's put the blended kale within the green smoothie. So we did that, and it was like drinking a swamp.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky. Yeah, so please advise on.
Yeah,
on kale
so
chips.
I actually have a kale smoothie on my website that works. You just don't add too much kale, and you'll be okay.
Right.
You use berries, and I think it's a banana, and then you add some kale, and that works. I call it the green smoothie. But the kale chips are the way I fell in love with kale, and they are in my book in case anyone wants to get the book. You take kale, you clean it, and you break it into chips, and then you put it in the oven at a high temperature with a little bit of olive oil. And what happens is the kale dries out and becomes crispy. And it's revolutionary. It's really tasty. And when I first, I was really skeptical because I didn't like kale. I tried this, and it changed my life. It seriously did. I started to eat kale chips all the time. And my kids, who are 8 and 10, started to eat kale. And they wouldn't have touched kale with a 10-foot pole without kale chips, So I highly recommend it.
My only thought is though, Lisa, in terms of cooking it, would that kind of take out a lot of the minerals and nutrients because of a kind of cooking, heating up process?
Well, no one's done that definitive test like we have before, and how much
we need to do this, Lisa. We need to get it to a lab. What's going on with this kale chips?
Yeah, roast some kale, but something. It does dehydrate it, so you lose liquid.
Right.
You're going to change things, sure, but you're still going to have, think about it versus a potato chip versus a crisp.
Oh, well, yeah.
It's not even the same animal. So if you're eating the kale chip versus the crisp, you're doing so much better.
Yeah.
So it's relative, and I wouldn't worry too much. I don't worry too much about cooking, changing things molecularly, because our bodies absorb things better if there's a little bit of fat and if it's cooked. Raw food, while we should eat some of it, it's actually harder for our bodies to absorb the food raw than it is a little bit cooked. That's just sort of because it's kind of like pre-digested.
Yeah. The other snack I'm trying to eat more of is mini kind of corn on the cobs. They're like really tiny ones. They're quite cool. And carrots and celery. But like in terms of healthy stuff, I don't know what could be healthier. I don't know your thoughts.
There couldn't be anything healthier than carrots and celery. You can't lose.
Those mini. Have you tried those mini corn on the cob kind of things? They look like a corn on the cob, but they're tiny ones.
Only in Chinese food.
Oh, yeah, no, not no, but like raw in it. You can get them raw in a packet, and it's just like to snack on.
I don't know what you're talking about. No, I haven't seen that. I'm gonna have to look for it.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Almonds have got a lot of protein and other amazing properties, haven't they?
Yeah, vitamin. I think the B3, vitamin A, actually vitamin D. Yeah, they're just packed with stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And tuna. Yeah, eat loads of tuna. Yeah. Peanut butter, Lise. Or organic peanut butter though. God, do you eat organic peanut butter, Lise?
It's pretty expensive, so I just eat the regular stuff. This is the land of peanut butter.
Oh, I know, but I'll tell you what, once you try it, you won't go back.
Oh, I believe you actually,
because it's so sweet. Like I try the normal stuff, I'm like, I can't eat the normal stuff anymore. So apple eggs, yeah, we're a big fan. We love poached eggs because poached eggs kind of try and preserve as much of the kind of nutrients as possible, whereas kind of scrambled or whatever, I think you could lose a bit. But like we say, all good. Carrots and cabbage. How do you make fish tacos with cabbage?
So that's just like a slaw. So if you ever go to Mexico, a coleslaw, you just chop up cabbage really fine. I think I used vinegar and made just had it raw.
That looks amazing. I'm a big fan of burritos and fajitas. Because, the way I view it is, I've got a whole meal wrap, and I've got the meat and the protein and the vegetables. I mean, the sour cream isn't too good, but I suppose you could swap that with like avocado sauce, but I didn't put avocado in, but I think that's pretty healthy. I don't know.
Well, for us, we just have to watch the calories on that wrap because they can be pretty high. Like there's one, there's a place that's common here called Chipotle, and their wrap is just the wrap alone is 260 calories. So you just have to watch that. Just because, for some people that would be a lot. Like if you're really active, who cares?
Yeah.
That's the only, and it can be sometimes high in fat if they use lard to make it.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, that's amazing. So to kind of wrap up, you've got some amazing stuff here. I'm just reading fantastic ideas for $10 in terms of like for your dinner. So you've got some really great information here. So where can they find you, Lise? And is it?
So it's www.snack-girl.com. If you just type in SnackGirl on Google, I'm there. You can subscribe to the website. It's free. I send out emails 4 days a week. And I have a book out, which came out from Random House in April. It's called Snack Girl to the Rescue, a real-life guide to eating healthy and losing weight with 100 recipes under 400 calories. There's a bunch of healthy snack recipes in there, as well as dinners and desserts and breakfast and all that.
Right.
And that's on amazon.co.uk.
Awesome. And any other listeners elsewhere in the world, I'm sure you can get it on your version of Amazon. And you're on the social media as well?
I'm on Facebook. You can find Snack Girl on Facebook and Twitter, Pinterest. I'm just not on Instagram. My millennial friends keep telling me I'm blowing it by not being on Instagram, but
maybe 2015, Lise. Maybe 2015.
It's goal. One of my goals.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you very much for coming on the show, and we'll have to get you back to get some more amazing snack advice.
Oh, you're welcome. I really enjoyed it.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much for enjoying our Eco Times Magazine podcast. We'd like to tell you all the platforms we're on. So we're on SoundCloud, we're on Stitcher, which is for Android. If you've got Android phone, you can download Stitcher, which is a podcast app, and get the Eco Times podcast on there. We're on iTunes, so you can get it on your iPhone and iPad and all your Apple devices. And we're on TuneIn as well. And we're on YouTube. So please subscribe to whichever platform works best for you. And thank you very much for listening. We want to say a big thank you very much to Eco Times Magazine for sponsoring the podcast. They are a weekly magazine, cover everything green. So if you're interested in growing your own food, renewable energy, amazing eco resorts, eco gadgets, basically anything green, how to build your own home, tiny houses, eco transport, organic food, anything green really. Big thank you to them. And please check them out. The links be below, and it's on the Apple newsstand, so you'll be able to get it on your iPad and iPhone. Thank you and have a great day.